Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Alex from Alex's Innovations. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a mini Starburst bracelet. I made a tutorial on how to make the regular Starburst bracelet, but the regular Starburst is 34 strings wide, which is a lot of strings, and for those of you who want to make a slightly easier version, this one is just a simplified version. It has 22 strings instead of 34, which makes it much easier to make. So this is pattern 32405 on braceletbook.com, and so for this pattern you'll need 4 colors. You'll need the background color. For me, I'm using white, and then you'll need 3 burst colors. So I'm using dark orange, light orange, and yellow. The pattern designates white as the letter D, and counting the D's, I see that I need 10 D strings. Since I already made a beginning loop and folding it in half, that really means that I need 5 D strings. So I cut 5 strings of white, and then I need 4 strings of every other color, so folding that in half, that makes 2 strings. So in total, if you're going to be making a beginning loop, then you need 5 background strings, and then 2 strings for each of 3 colors. When you're done with that, you can fasten it however you'd like. I made a beginning loop and I have a tutorial for this on my channel. You can check it out in the description. But if you don't feel comfortable with this, you can do an overhand knot or simply a braid. But I'll be showing you how to make a shaped start. Again, I go much more into depth in another video, but I'll be showing you how to do a shaped start with the assumption that you have already watched that video. I'm looking at my pattern, and I like to make 2 shaped starts with the starbursts, one coming off of each end of the beginning loop. So I'll show you right now on the left side. First, split your strings into 2 sections. On the right side here, I have 4 background strings and 1 dark orange string. And then on here, I have all of the other strings. So to make things easier, let's start on this side. Take one of the white strings and place it to the left. Then, do a forward-backward knot over the whole bundle, and place that to the left. Then repeat this for each of the white strings. So in total, you should have 4 forward-backward knots with the white strings. Now putting these off to the side, let's grab our other one. First, let's take our light orange and do a backward-forward knot into the center. Then with the yellow, do a backward-forward knot into the center. Then with the white string, then with the yellow again, and finally with the light orange. Alright, and that is our shaped start on this side. If you have already made a starburst, you can see that this is much easier. And if you haven't made a starburst yet, then take my word for it, this is much easier than a regular starburst. So now we're just going to mirror this on the other side. So I've already split my strings into the same sections. We have 4 white strings and a dark orange string on this side, and all of the other strings on this side. We're going to do the same thing but reverse it. So I'm going to do a backward forward knot with this white thread over the bundle, and then I will repeat this on the side with all of the white threads. Alright, and then on the last bundle we have, I'm going to take my light orange thread and do a forward-backward knot. Then with the yellow thread, then with a white thread, then with the other yellow thread, and then with the light orange thread. Alright, and our shaped start is now done. The way I'm going to be showing you does not completely align with the pattern on Bracelet Book, but I'm just going to be showing you the way that works best for me. So let's start on the right side. I'm first going to take the white thread that's closest to the center and I'm going to do double forward knots over the next 5 strings. So all of the strings except for the dark orange one at the end. Also, I realized that there has been some controversy about me saying double forward knots versus regular forward knots, and I'm sorry if this is confusing, or if other bracelet creators say forward knots, but for me it helps to designate between forward knots and forward backward knots. It sort of feels like something's missing. Like, I don't want to say just a plain forward knot, but I feel like there has to be some sort of designation, so I'm sorry about that. Alright, once you're done with your 5 double forward knots, then take the next white thread and repeat the exact same thing. Do 5 double forward knots. Alright, and then on the other side, just mirror this. So take the white thread that's closest to the middle and do 5 double backward knots this time. And then repeat that with the second white string in line. Alright, and now we are ready to join the 2 halves of our bracelet together. So I'm just going to tighten these final white threads, and then I'll take the 2 dark orange threads in the middle and knot the left one over the right one. Like so. Now on the right side, I'm going to take my first light orange thread, and I'm going to do 3 double backward knots. Then on the left side, same thing, I'm going to take my first light orange thread and do 4 double forward knots. So we're going to do 3 double forward knots over the first 3 strings, and then the 4th one over the light orange thread that we just knotted with. Next, on the right side, take the next white string in line and do 3 double forward knots. Then take the first yellow thread that you just knotted over and do 3 double backward knots. And then repeat this on the other side. So take the white thread and do 3 double backward knots. And then with the first yellow thread that you just knotted over, do 4 double forward knots. Now, with the white thread on the left side, on the left side, but on the right side, you know what I mean, do a double forward knot. And then over the same white thread, do a double forward knot with each of the threads in between. So it sort of creates this gradient effect down this white thread. And then repeat this, but mirror it on the other side. So with the white thread on the right, but on the left side, do a double backward knot. and then do the same thing with each of the colored threads. And then in the center, knot the two white threads over each other. Now we're just going to do a big yellow chevron, so on the left side, take your yellow thread and do 5 double forward knots. And then on the right side, take your yellow thread and do 6 double backward knots. Remember with the last backward knot to knot over the yellow thread that you just knotted with. Alright, so that's our first part done. Now on the right side, take the light orange thread and do 3 double backward knots. And then a backward forward knot over the other light orange thread on this side. Then with the dark orange thread, do 4 double backward knots. And then a backward forward knot over the dark orange thread. Then with the white thread that's all the way on the right, do 2 double backward knots. And then a backward forward knot. Then with the white thread that's now on the right, do a backward forward knot. Now take the third white thread from the outside, hint that's the white thread that you just knotted with earlier, and you're going to do 2 double forward knots. And then with the dark orange thread that you just knotted over, do 4 double forward knots. Alright, now take the light orange thread that you were working with and do 3 double forward knots. And then with the yellow thread you were working with earlier, do 3 double forward knots. Okay, now we're going to replicate this sort of dot thing that we did up here. So, knotting over the white thread, we're first going to take the light orange thread and do a double backward knot. Then with the dark orange thread, do a double backward knot. And then with the white thread, do a double backward knot. Then with the other yellow thread that's right in the middle, we're going to do 3 double forward knots. And then with the last white thread that you knotted over with the light orange thread, you're going to do 3 double backward knots. we're just going to do everything we just did on the right side, but mirror it and then do it on the left side. So on the left side, take the light orange thread and do 3 double forward knots. And then a forward backward knot over the light orange thread. Then with the dark orange thread all the way on the left, we're going to do 4 double forward knots. And then a forward backward knot over the dark orange thread. Then with the white thread on the left, do 2 double forward knots. And then 1 forward backward knot. Then with the white thread that's now on the left, we're going to do 1 forward backward knot. Then with the white thread that you were knotting with earlier, do 2 double backward knots. And then with the dark orange thread that you were just knotting with, do 4 double backward knots. Alright, now with the light orange thread that you were knotting with earlier, do 3 double backward knots. And then with the yellow thread that you're knotting with earlier, do 3 double backward knots. Then with the last white thread in the middle, we're going to be knotting over this one with the light orange thread, do 1 double forward knot. Then with the dark orange thread, do 1 double forward knot. And then finally with the white thread, the last white thread that you just knotted over with the yellow thread, we're going to do 1 double forward knot. Now with the last yellow thread in the middle, we're going to do 3 double backward knots. Alright, and then with the last white thread that you knotted over with the light orange thread, we're going to do 3 double forward knots. We're almost done with this first starburst, guys. Now, in the middle of the starburst, take the 2 light orange threads, knot one over the other, and then with the one on the right, do 3 double forward knots. And then with the other one, do 3 double backward knots. Alright, then on the right side, the white thread that's closer to the middle, this one, you're going to do 5 double backward knots. And then repeat that with the other white thread. Alright, and then just repeat this but mirror it on the other side. So take the first white thread and do 5 double forward knots. And then do the same thing with the last white thread remaining. Alright, and then with the dark orange threads in the middle, knot one over the other. And with the one on the right, do 4 double forward knots. And with the other dark orange thread, do 4 double backward knots. Okay, we're almost done. Almost there. On the left side, take the string that is all the way to the left and do 6 double forward knots. And then with the same string on the other side, do 6 double backward knots. Alright, and that is one starburst down. Now I'm going to show you the middle sections. So let's start on the right side, although both sides are the same. Let's take the light orange thread and do 3 double backward knots. And then a backward forward knot over the light orange thread. Then with the yellow thread, do 1 double backward knot, and then 1 backward forward knot. And then do 1 double forward knot. Then with the light orange thread that you were just knotting with, do 3 double forward knots. Then with the dark orange thread that is closer to the right, do 5 double forward knots. Alright, and then let's just repeat this but mirror on the other side. So take your light orange thread and do 3 double forward knots. And then a forward backward knot. Then with the yellow thread, do a double forward knot, forward backward knot, and then a backward knot. Then with the light orange thread you just worked with, do 3 double backward knots. And then finally, with a dark orange thread, do 5 double backward knots. Alright, and then now for the center. Take the 2 white threads that are all the way in the center and knot one over the other. And then with the one on the right, do 2 double forward knots. And then a forward backward knot. Then with the other white string you just worked with, do 2 double backward knots. And then a backward forward knot. Then with the 2 new white strings in the middle, knot one over the other. And then with the right one, do a forward backward knot. And then with the other one, do a backward forward knot. Then with the same thread, do a double forward knot. Now with the white thread that you made on the left, do 2 double forward knots. And with the white thread that you worked with on the right, do 3 double backward knots. Now on the left, take the dark orange thread that is still in the middle and do 4 double forward knots. And with the dark orange thread that is in the middle on the right, do 5 double backward knots. If this setup looks familiar to you, that's because you've seen it before. You actually saw it at the beginning of this video. So go back to the timestamp shown here and I'll show you again how to make this beginning starburst and then this intermediate step. And that is how you make a mini starburst. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you decide to make this, tag me on Instagram and I might feature it. Hope you enjoyed the video! If you like this video and want to see more, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to keep the bracelets coming. Make sure you hit the bell that says all so you're notified for each one of my new videos. Also, please consider supporting me on Patreon. By contributing just a little bit each month, you can gain exclusive benefits like early access to my videos and bracelets shipped regularly to your front door. My Patreon is Alex's Innovations. The link is in the card and also in the description down below. I just want to give a shout out to my Patreon Simon. They're amazing, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you're not already, follow me on Instagram at Alex Innovations. I do polls and surveys there that I later feature in my videos, so by checking out my profile, you can help me make better videos. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.